3 indie survival horror games dropping in 2025 you'll want to keep on your radar. Maybe even clear some space in your inventory. From Argentina, Poland and New Zealand come twisted takes on the genre, low poly pixel dread, brutal Japanese folklore and Eastern European decay, each with a fresh spin on fear. Tenebris Somnia is a retro survival horror adventure that looks like it clawed its way out of the 1990s, then got spliced with VHS nightmares of live-action horror. It's the brainchild of Argentine filmmaker Andres Borgi, developed by Sailboat Studio with Airdorf on board, the creator of a deeply unsettling faith, the Unholy Trinity. It plays like a classic survival horror. You'll explore multiple locations, solve light puzzles mostly by combining and using items in the right place while managing limited resources, weapons, bullets and healing supplies. These mechanics are familiar from the Resident Evil and Silent Hill series, but wrapped in a retro 2D environment with visual styles inspired by NES and Famicom. Lo-fi graphics and fixed-side view rooms manage to deliver strong atmosphere and monster design that prove pixels can still be scary. The live-action cutscenes reinforce the feeling of dread by connecting the retro style to real actors and complex creepy CGI, helping your imagination to complete the pixel nightmare. Plot-wise, you play as Julia, whose vivid nightmares pull her towards her ex's apartment, just as he vanishes under strange circumstances. Her search spirals into a surreal descent filled with flickering visions, supernatural horrors, and distorted memories, tangling themes of grief, loss, and identity into something that feels more personal than expected. The demo offers about 30 minutes of gameplay and delivers a strong glimpse of where Tenebris Somnia is headed. Its fusion of retro gameplay and live-action footage comes across as a bold and confident experiment, both fresh and surprisingly natural. And I feel like it's absolutely a game worth keeping an eye on. Labyrinth of the Demon King is a truly brutal first-person survival horror game from solo New Zealand developer J.R. Hutpole. Set in decay and demon-infested feudal Japan, you play as an Ashigaru foot soldier out for revenge after his lord is slain by the Demon King. So down you go into a cursed labyrinth, hoping to end his reign or die trying. And you will die again and again and again. Get comfortable with it. This isn't your typical survival horror. Labyrinth of the Demon King leans into a precision melee combat a la Elden Ring and other Souls-likes, demanding well-timed parries, dodges and careful stamina management. Even basic enemies can overwhelm you, at least at first. My personal bane were the insects. Tiny, fast, hard to hit, and either the aiming system needs some tuning, or I seriously do. There are only a few weapons in demo, several katanas, an axe and a bow, just enough to give you a taste of what the full game has in store. The final version promises a broader arsenal, from naginatas to muskets, letting you approach its brutal combat in whatever style suits your suffering. Beyond weapons, the game features armor sets, talismans and variety of consumables like healing and stamina potions. You can only carry a limited number of healing items though, so don't expect to hoard them. Visually, the game leans hard into full-on PSX aesthetics, gritty textures, chunky models, and even 4:3 resolution that reinforces its unsettling retro atmosphere and immerses you in a nostalgic horror experience. The labyrinth itself is a sprawling, interconnected fortress, teeming with grotesque creatures and treacherous corridors. Even in them, there is plenty of branching paths, shortcuts and hidden rooms to discover. The monster design draws heavily from Japanese folklore and horror cinema. Twisted yokai-like entities that feel ripped from ancient myths, vivid dreams and the corner of a cursed VHS tape. They haunt the fortress like rabid ghosts, sometimes staring into each other before you even get the chance. It's oddly amusing to watch them punch, kick and claw at one another like feral spirits squabbling in hell. Labyrinth of the Demon King is unforgiving, atmospheric and full of strange, creepy retro charm. If you're into survival horror that dials up the challenge and drags you into folklore-soaked brutality, this is the one to keep your eye on. Holstin is a survival horror adventure from Polish studio Sonka, with unique 3D style that mimics retro pixel art. It's set in a small town in 90s Poland, slowly being consumed by something unnatural. The locals aren't just acting strange, they are mutating into corrupted, mindless shells of themselves. The demo is split into parts released several years apart. The first is a point-and-click style adventure, centered on exploration and light yet satisfying puzzles. The second, released later, is entirely focused focused on combat. It's not clear how the final game will combine these elements, but based on recent footage, the survival horror side seems to be taking a lead, while the adventure mechanics may be scaled back. What sets Holstin apart is its rotatable perspective and a smart twist on combat. You navigate environments in isometric layout with gritty pixelated visuals, but you can rotate the camera in 4 directions, revealing hidden paths, objects and interactable elements that aren't visible from every angle. In combat, aiming a firearm shifts the camera into over-shoulder view. Enemies are surprisingly durable with different damage zones, but headshots don't guarantee a kill. You can still shoot off their heads to blind them, their legs to slow them down, or their arms to stop them from grabbing you. Fighting one is totally manageable, even easier, but facing a rushing group of mutants is when survival really kicks in. There's also basic stealth and stamina mechanics, adding pressure to how you move and fight. And once again you've got classic survival horror staples. Limited armor plus the ability to craft bullets and healing drinks. Vodka mixed with herbs is a perfectly valid combo here. The demo features 3 weapons: handgun, automatic rifle and hunting shotgun, plus molotovs for some fiery fun. Inventory space is tight, and since you can't drop any of the guns you're carrying, I often found myself unable to pick up materials for crafting more ammo. The developers already teased revamped weapon mechanics in a recent trailer, so yeah, looks like a bunch of things still aren't set in stone. Holstin blends old-school horror design with a handful of sharp, original ideas, and its grim setting and strong atmosphere make it a game well worth waiting for. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and say hi in the comments. Always appreciated. Cheers and have a good one.